What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the third episode, right, of the Expat Bros podcast. We in the building. Shout out to Workington. Shout out to Qatar Day. Shout out to Brother Ahmed. We will get to that in a little bit. Shout out to the team in the back as well. Salute to y'all. And shout out to the viewers.
Number one.
Expat Bros back again. We have a special guest. I know we say that every time. I get it. But
this one's better.
Yeah. This is homegrown.
Local.
So,
mashallah.
Yeah, mashallah. So we're going to get into it. One half of the Expat Bros, Brother Hamza. Other half of the Expat Bros.
Brother AB, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 3. We appreciate it.
Indeed. We have any business in order before we go ahead and introduce
just the usual, brother. Shout out to Workington. As always, the space. Shout out to Musharraf. Shout out to our guest, Ahmed, which you'll hear more about it. And then always the team in the back. As always, without you guys,
salute.
We're always here. Alhamdulillah. So without further ado, let's start.
All right, let's go. Brother Ahmed Al Meghessib. I very Americanized that, you know.
You butchered that name, eh?
No, it's all good. Very much. No, that's what I do.
It's all good.
In America, we have a rapper. He said a special line. He said, "Legend in 2 games like P.V. Kirkland." Right? So you may not know who P.V. Kirkland is, but you're definitely a legend in 2 games. So we want to go ahead and give you your flowers for that. And you're a young man doing it, mashallah.
Mashallah.
Well, so that's the thing. But without me telling your story, introduce yourself to the crowd. Let them know why you're here today.
Okay, thank you for gassing me up a little bit.
This
is the truth, man.
First, I appreciate you guys inviting me, to the podcast Expat Bros. I hope it will be a great, episode. And my name is Ahmed Al Meghessib, and I'm a eSport player, professional eSport player, also a head of eSport in Qatari Esports Federation, and ex-football player, I would say.
Yeah. You still play though, I'm sure.
Still, but not as professional as I used to do,
Yeah. It's probably interesting wearing 2 jerseys for 2 different things, right? Very interesting. So.
It's very unique, I would say. I had the pleasure to compete in such 2 disciplines.
Right.
It's not easy, especially to be super good in both. Mm-hmm. You definitely need to decide and have a direction towards where you want to go through. Mm-hmm. But I think so far I'm doing so good, and I hope that I keep pushing myself to my limits in the upcoming years, inshallah.
Of course.
Ahmed, you actually hold a very big title on our show this episode. You're our first local guest, which is obviously one of many.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very happy to have you. Growing up here and seeing how life is going from football to esports, how is that transition? How'd you change? Why'd you start with football first, and then making the person that you are today? Talk to us about that.
Interesting question. So as I started as a football player, I come from a family or football-oriented family. So my grandfather was one of the founders of one of the clubs in Qatar.
Which club?
I don't know if I can disclose this, man.
Because then we got some beef here. Which club is it?
No, it's better not to say it. Not in a podcast.
That's like asking his government name.
That's what I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are you a Laker or are you Celtic? Which one are you?
Don't answer any question. I'm your lawyer.
I'm joking.
So not in the podcast, but and my father is a football coach. A famous Qatari football coach,
mashallah.
And I had to be a football player when my father and my grandfather are into this football industry. And I've been throughout football since I was 6, 7, maybe younger. I started in Aspire Academy, and then I moved to clubs definitely. Throughout the youth, I represented Aspire and the youth national team from under 13 until the Olympic national team. And eSport was just something weird popped up into my way. Mm-hmm. You will see how weird it went. And it went from a hobby to a profession, to start getting sponsors, getting paid crazy money,
mashallah,
getting leads or connections just because of this small kind of industry in the country.
Right.
So basically, with football, I was doing my thing. Football was my passion. I had this goal that I want to be in the 2022 World Cup. And I was younger and everything. So everything went smooth. Alhamdulillah. And like when I was young, I think it was like I was in grade 10 or 11, chilling at Aspire. So basically in Aspire Academy, we go from 7 a.m. in the morning and we leave 7 p.m. And when you are on the secondary, so from the 10th grade to 12th grade, you need to sleep, I think, twice or 3 times a week. Now probably it changed, but that was when I was an Aspire Academy student. And I was chilling throughout the break. I had my food, wanted to chill. I saw a newspaper, man, in front of me. I pulled that newspaper and I said, oh, I saw like an ad. It was Qatar Olympic Committee FIFA tournament.
Right.
I think it was FIFA 16 or 17. No, FIFA 15. 15, yeah. Okay. So 2015.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a minute.
Almost a decade now.
But also, by the way, fun fact, 2015 FIFA is a great game.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the classics.
Definitely,
Fun fact.
definitely. We will elaborate that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that afterwards.
We need to.
2015.
About that.
Yeah, so moving over to the ad. So basically through that year, I was playing FIFA, and I was like crashing my friends, every now and then when we go to camps, when I gather with them in Doha and Majlises or some of the friends, any of my friends' houses. So I was good. I know that I'm good, but I didn't have this But when I saw the ad, 7,500 Qatari, I said, man, this is a big bag, for a young guy. I know football might give me more maybe in the future, but now is like, I want this money now. So I went to the event. I had like a guy with me who gave me like tactic, how to, play in the event, how to play the which formation and stuff. And somehow I won that event. So FIFA 15, this was my first event. I won that event. FIFA 16, I dominated the scene in the country. I almost won more than 15 tournaments.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I said, man,
it's a lot.
yeah, back then, we had a huge community, and we kept this community. The leaders of this community were going crazy with events every weekend, week out. There was a new tournament, new location. So we were gathering every week to just play FIFA.
Right.
And I said what's next then? I thought, I still, put in mind that I'm still learning with football, in the youth, under 17 national team. So I was watching some FIFA clubs, getting to know the players around the world and everything. And I saw that there is something called FIFA World Cup. So I said, what? There is a FIFA World Cup? Then boom, my next year checklist is to achieve FIFA World Cup. So FIFA 16, I couldn't. There was not a way for Qatari to achieve a World Cup. There were no qualifier system and everything. But in 2017 I had the chance. So in Qatar we hosted the FIFA Interactive World Cup qualifiers, the rest of the world. So Qatar was not an Asian qualifiers or something. It's part of Africa and many different continents. And I remember it was through Xbox, and I was a PlayStation player,
Ooh,
so I had. So the community, we had 2 seats. So everyone in the community agreed that I get 1 seat without playing any qualifiers in Doha, which was a pleasure for me. And then they competed on the other spot.
Wasta.
That's a certain crown of throne you gotta be on.
They said, you know what, this guy's so good. Certified. blue check.
Yeah. So. And then I needed to play an Xbox for 3 days only. I had 3 days to play the tournament, and somehow, man, I managed to win this tournament.
Wow!
And then I went to the World Cup. It was in London, 2017. And put in mind, I had a football camp.
Yeah.
So, and I was from Doha Sports Club, and this was the first team. So I moved in loan to Qatar Sports Club, to have more time to play. Doha was a top tier team, best 11 players in the league. I was a midfielder, so the midfielders were the starter midfielders also for the national team. So it was tough for a young player to play. So they loaned me to Qatar Sports Club. And then I remember it was Calderon is the coach, he's Argentinian. So he asked about me, that to be loaned to him for the year and stuff. So he met me before, discussed football. Okay, coach, what's the plan? Blah blah. Told him, okay, after we have ended 1 hour of meeting discussion about the season and everything. Said to him, I have one thing that you might hate it. Man, look, I have this World Cup I qualified to. I need to go to play. It's my only chance to represent the country. And then I told them it's done. Well, I will be back. This side thing won't be a thing. I will leave it. Say to me, okay, you can go, and you come directly from the event to the camp. So just to give you like information how it went through. And yeah, after this World Cup, I said, I'm done, you know. Like I said, خلاص, I've achieved my goal.
Right.
What's next? So I said, okay, I'm done. I had a great football season, but still, within my way to the World Cup, I received an offer. It's from who?
Red Bull.
No.
No?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Before that.
Not yet.
Before
It
that.
was from PSD.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had an offer from PSG.
Yeah. So I received an offer from PSD ESports.
Oh, esports. Okay.
Yeah.
I
To
thought
be.
it was-
No, man. I wish.
No, I thought I was.
I wish.
I was like,
I wish.
I was like, mash.
I wish. No. I wish.
One day,
Now
inshallah.
somebody say something.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was like, you know, it's just E. In the
yeah. No, don't break it down. Mashallah.
No, it was an offer that I needed to consider, you know.
Okay.
So I had like one of my cousins, shout out to him, Ahmed Al
Shout out to Ahmed, the boy.
Meghessib. Yeah, he was a supporter, and he was like kind of the advisor on that move. And I took this offer just for the sake, let's see what does eSport will do to
Yeah.
a person like me.
Yeah.
Then I get a sponsor, which is Red Bull, you know. And I said, man, I didn't get this because I'm a football player, you know. Yes, I was like, I would say I am a great football player, as in my position, but I don't know that at that period when I was younger that I will get sponsored because of football. I thought in football I had just the club, that's my only way of, you know, getting compensated or something, but I didn't have this kind of image of sponsorship and deals and whatever. So Red Bull gave me the opportunity to understand or to develop myself more than just an athlete, you know, even as a you know, a person, knowing people, knowing how things works in general. And yeah, after that I considered esports more,
Right.
representing the Qatar national team. We had Alhamdulillah, we had the chance to qualify to the first, I would say that we were the first GCC country to qualify to the World Cup. We were ranked 10th globally.
Wow.
Yeah, and put in mind that was when Qatar didn't have any esports ecosystem, you know.
First year, basically.
No, this is before that. So he
No,
established.
that's the World Cup.
Yeah.
What the Qatar national team was after.
Was after, right?
Was after, yeah.
But-
So it
but
was
you-
like
but you
2020.
established- Yeah.
But would you say
2020,
like the foundation, like
Yeah, like there was no esports in the country.
He
you know?
is esports.
yeah, that's what
So
the foundation.
I won't say that, but like
He's the founding company is
yeah,
him.
but no, I mean really, it was
Mashallah.
a huge like achievement for me individually, and I made it with someone. So I'm not alone anymore. I have someone to pull with me
Yes.
in the road. And then we made another, you know, throughout the years, I made another World Cup with the Qatar national team. In total, 3 World Cups as a esport player, and a title such as FIFA or AFC. It's not easy, too many qualifiers online and offline. But yeah, that was like the start and kind of achieving a bit of the road.
But yeah.
Before we go further,
Yeah.
I want to ask this one question because you said you come from a family of like footballers, ballers, you know, from grandfather to father to you, and judging from how you speak, it's clearly that you went and you came from a very good team, especially coming from the early years of Aspire.
Yeah.
Because Aspire's point of Aspire was to raise the future generation of the team that we saw now and so forth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go back to your family, your father and your grandfather. At what point did they take you serious? Because you're playing real football and then now you're playing video games.
Yeah.
So what was the shift in their mind, and when did they start accepting you? Like, was it when the money came in? Like, how would they allow their son and their grandson that they raised and then now is playing video games? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get your point. No, it's lovely. I think I would consider just my father on this situation. So, you know, as a coach, it was, you know, I won't say a dream for him, but it would be lovely to see his, you know, son to play football. Although that I've been, you know, practicing or participating in events and everything. He was seeing me, every day, sometimes after training, hitting some matches with the friends and stuff, online maybe. And when he, I think, believed that this is a thing, is when I won the qualifiers here and I qualified to the World Cup. Because literally a few weeks before that, he paid a ticket and a hotel for me to go to Abu Dhabi, and it was 1 million kind of prize pool FIFA event.
Wow, mashallah.
So when I saw that he wanted to see my direction. So my father is he was my biggest supporter. So he's my biggest supporter, and in football and esports, whatever I do, he supports me a lot. But I think he really sees the angle of esports a bit earlier than most of the people in the country with me. Through that winning of the rest of the world qualifiers. And then he started believing, okay, this is a thing, but no way he will consider that this is a career. He will never consider esports as a career, especially in 2017 when esports wasn't huge globally. Even you see now esports and whatever is happening in our neighbors, Saudi Arabia, it's huge. You see the prize pool and everything in EWC, it's crazy. So back then, nothing was in the region, I'm talking, not only in Qatar. So yeah, I think that was the period when he said, okay, let me try with this guy, Your
father, mashallah, has vision. For him to vision that far and forecast, and then to take a chance and allow his son that he's been raising for this many years into a certain career, but then have a second option is visionary.
Yeah, I agree.
Mashallah.
Okay. How do you train to be an esport athlete, and not only that, an elite esport athlete? Because I'm sure there's a lot of time in front of the TV, and you're using a lot of fast twitch, right? But is there a mental aspect to it? Is there just as much as a physical aspect to it? So break that down, especially from your early days when you were doing it for fun, and then it became something that really made money for you. Yeah,
put in mind that sports or football is my whole life, now I work in the football industry and, being a player and everything. So being an athlete is not a choice for me, it's a habit. So involving any involving any kind of initiative within myself, it will be just an added thing to me being an athlete. So considering esports, first, if you want to be an elite, definitely you need to sweat, or you give more hours to the title that you focus on. So my case is EAFC now, or FIFA before. So I was giving a lot of hours. I had coaches, I had, and especially since I come from football background, I know a lot of tactics, especially when I'm a midfielder, and I used to discuss with the coaches a lot why we played like that, what's the goal. My father is a coach, he handled the courses in the country, so I get a lot of information from him. Which formation do I use to this formation? Okay, how do I press? When do I drop back and everything? And that's in football terms, right? But also you can get a bit of it and add it into the way that you play the game. And I would say when I started playing FIFA, that gave me a bit of an edge on my other competitors locally originally. So yeah, I think that's one of the core players. Definitely watching someone professional helped me a lot. I had to watch a specific player from the Netherlands. He was just a YouTuber, but a really top player, elite player. So I watched his videos because the fundamentals of the game are different, definitely, than the actual one. And then when I qualified to the World Cup, I know how to qualify now. So I will do it once, twice, or 3 times. The way is not different. It's just the ethic that you put into the game. And put in mind that you need to focus to really give this title or this industry its time to achieve something. Whether you are a player or an organization, whatever you are in this industry. So time and effort, which is the common thing in many different sports, is the key. And definitely the most important thing is believing that you really can do it. If you don't believe mentally, it will never happen. So you need to be really strong here and to avoid any obstacles or any side effects that comes throughout your way. So yeah, I think that's kind of the journey to be like an elite player.
So I have to ask though, as well as a follow-up, like what were the challenges?
Well,
it all probably wasn't.
I have a better question than that. Who are the haters? Challenges. Let's go.
But it's true though.
Let's go
It's true
deeper.
though.
Let's go deeper.
It's kind of
everybody
linked to the
No, but-
challenges, you know.
But challenge.
yeah.
Yeah. No.
So we both trying to say the same thing.
Okay.
Anytime you are the first of something
Yeah.
and you're successful, especially somebody's always hating.
There's always naysayers.
Yeah, there's always someone saying no, you can't do it.
Because not everyone has the same vision as your father.
Right.
Yeah.
And coming from where we come from, I'll be honest, a lot of the haters are usually teachers. Because
A lot of that.
your career doesn't fall into the typical
Yeah.
career pathway of how things, like athlete falls in,
Yeah.
but esport athlete doesn't fall in. I remember I think 2017 or 2016,
Okay.
even before it came here, I remember on the internet, one of the biggest games in the world was World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was one of the biggest games in the world. Still is.
Still is.
World of
of course.
Warcraft. This is before Fortnite. All these games before that.
Yeah. Wait.
And I remember there was a 16-year-old that made $1 million. Obviously, this prize money. And one of the headlines that said, "Now parents can no longer tell their kids they cannot become esport players because now there's a pathway to make money from this." And this is before it even reached you guys in the Gulf or this area. So when we say haters, people typically are the ones that are these challenges are holding you back, and these people. How did you psychologically lock in?
Yeah.
Well, interesting. So basically, when I would say challenges or haters, I can answer both of your questions, and because I need to explain why and then jump
Do it.
into it.
Always.
But because like the challenge was for me as an individual, if I wanted to go in esports years back in Doha, it was tough because we didn't have much events. Now there is a Qatar Esports Federation. I'm part of it. It's different situation now. So back then, nothing was there. So it was just communities practicing together, and that will never give you like the level that you see when you go to the World Cup. You know, they're like, man, the level is crazy. It's insane, man.
Yes.
People just live on esports, on playing FIFA. So you need like a certain system, a professional circuit in the country. Even a shout out to Khalifa Al Haroun. He was like part of the.
He brought a lot over.
Yeah, he was. He handled the initiative with the Qatar Football Association and incorporated esports with it, so which allowed me to develop a team and took it over to the World Cup twice. So back then it was just individual efforts. There was no entity managing all of this, and they are dedicated only to esports initiatives.
Yeah.
So that was the challenge. In terms of haters, I won't say I had much haters, like, because it was something new, and we Qatari, I think we appreciate each other, and even people in Qataris are expats. So I probably had like definitely few people who hated to see me keep winning and everything, because who wants to see someone keeps winning? You want to see a change a bit, But I had one guy which I just got a mind about him. I remember he said that before this kind of 2017 World Cup qualifier came in, I told him that, look, man, my dream is to go there and play in the FIFA Interactive World Cup. And he said to me, man, it's difficult. He didn't say it's difficult because I'm not too good. He said because there is no chances or no direction that you will qualify. So subhanallah, like, I think a year or a few months later, we got this qualifier to happen in Doha, and then the FIFA asked, like, I think it was Ministry for Sport or Qatar Olympic Committee, I don't remember who, to create like kind of a qualifiers and everything. And subhanallah, I represented Qatar at that and won the tournament and qualified to the World Cup.
MashaAllah.
So like in terms of like haters, I won't say that I had a lot of haters, a dedicated community that hates me and everything. No, it was all love, it was all generous.
Beautiful.
And people supported my journey a lot, 100%.
MashaAllah, it's
That's
beautiful.
nice. I wanted to ask you about your day-to-day. like, in terms of what you do? Because it can't just be all video games,
of course,
sports and things like that. Like, how do you keep yourself living a full life where you incorporate these things, but you're living the best life that you can live?
What's your work-life balance, basically?
That's basically what I'm doing.
Because typically gaming is for pleasure.
Yeah.
But this pleasure now is your business, is your passion. So what do you take your mind off gaming now?
Well, the thing, it depends. Like, if I would speak about that specific period, I would say that most of the time I'm dedicated just to be like a football player. My focus was on the training, and then for me, like, I would say that gaming or practicing was just a fun time for me. I had like a specific period when I have an event or something. That's where I kill it with my time in the console, because I have a coach, I have few competitors or few friends that I always compete with them. So I create this kind of bubble that allow me to focus on what I want to achieve. And that's how I used to do it, honestly. But yeah, so since Aspire Academy, in Aspire Academy we study and we play football, and then we go back to the other classes and we train afternoon. So balancing things, it's in my DNA. Aspire forced it into my DNA, and I keep balancing like my time since I graduated from the academy. So thanks to Aspire, for incorporating this kind of I would say attribute to me and to all the Aspire Academy graduates, and hopefully that we can see more of Aspire Academy here on the podcast, students, graduates.
We are more than happy.
Yeah, you will love it, because from everyone you will hear like a specific story, but you will get similar understanding of words about the academy, about the journey there, how we were treated, how we were in a zone that we believe, you believe that you will achieve into something. Maybe for someone, he will not achieve in his sport, but he will achieve in something else. But definitely they give you the environment of like it's a positive environment, and allows you just to focus on yourself and how you want to achieve it.
Yeah.
You see, we see Matez Bersham as example picture down here.
Yeah.
He's a great example.
Soon, inshallah.
Inshallah. I will let him know about it. I will give him inshallah positive feedback.
Inshallah.
Being your best behavior, we got to do that.
brother. We are only as best as our guests, to be honest. So if our guests speak good of us, alhamdulillah.
And I want to look at this camera. That camera's working. I'm looking at this camera. If you're at Aspire Academy, we would love to sit down with any of your team to come on the pod. We will love it.
Players, coaches, management.
Doesn't matter.
Therapists.
Why not?
But you know what, though? Like, this is the question I have too, as well, to follow up what you said. Is Aspire Academy now looking more into esports? Is that a part of their curriculum now, or something they're looking into?
I think not yet, but in the future, I'm also trying to push something like that.
Yeah.
And hopefully, look, esports is one of the growing industry globally. I think it's projected to achieve around 8 billion in 2027, 2028.
Wow.
US?
Yeah, definitely US.
Bro, it's one of the biggest.
Yeah, it's one of the. So definitely it must be
bigger than music, bigger than movies. Gaming is crazy.
Yeah, it must be incorporated, inshallah, in Aspire, and hopefully with the work, inshallah, with Qatari Sports Federation, we can make something like that, inshallah, happen in Aspire Academy. I will be super happy, to see something like that, esports player, that's why Academy, that's crazy,
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be really nice. You have a question? Because I feel like
No, it's fine.
I don't want to interject.
My questions are your questions, man. We're chilling, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your spirit, okay, spirituality, okay. We always ask this segment to our guests about, obviously, you're Muslim, okay. In the journey of becoming this great version of yourself, how much has religion helped you in your spirit, in your dark times, because everyone has dark times, your doubt, your regret, and how has it projected you? Because I can tell you're someone who's organized, who's someone who creates these goals for himself.
Absolutely.
Whether they're short-term goals or they're long-term goals, and eventually, inshallah, you crush them. So how do you use religion to propel you? And how do you do these things? 'Cause a lot of people don't know these things.
Yeah.
There is even athletes have dark times.
Of course, yeah.
But all you see is the sunshine and rainbows
Instagram.
at the end. You see the success, but they don't see the dark times that are behind you.
Yes.
And who made you who you are.
Yeah, like I can give you an example regarding something like that. So I think in the first, as example, qualifiers for the Qatar national team, I was really in a tough moment in my life, I would say. Like something really bad happened without elaborating on that thing, or I was in a very bad situation. And through the situation, I also need to, practice, and I don't have a lot of time for the qualifiers with the national team. And put in mind that this is a pressure. If we make it as a team, esports will be something huge in the country through Qatar Football Association. And like especially in this period, any athlete that you would see, if he's a Muslim athlete, definitely he will consider, praying and consider, reading Surah Al-Baqarah, and even my father and especially both parents, even till today, like they keep reminding me of all those fundamentals that you were taught about when you were younger,
Big blessing,
and especially my mother, she kept like I remember during that period she kept like pushing me into reading Surah Al-Baqarah, and mashallah, it's something unique. Like I don't know how to explain to you that the moment shifted like quickly. You get me?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
everything was like
Alhamdulillah.
it's you don't know how to explain something like that.
It's so small, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Once
like
you solve it.
you understand that something like that happen, and sometimes people like don't, I would say, care about it when it's khalas, this thing happened and it's gone, and now you are back into your normal life. You are good, everything is positive, everything, you are healthy, your family is okay. So we keep forgetting about those small things which really make a huge difference in a human being, and a lot of difference in an athlete career, because it makes something huge for me. And because of that period, because of that kind of advices that I got regarding the spiritual type of aspect, esport became something, because my team and myself, we qualified to the World Cup, and everything shifted because of being in that spiritual direction, I would say.
I'm gonna say a deep question.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is I think this, especially for someone like you, who's you basically had your whole life paved out for you. There's a pathway given to you by your grandparents and your father and so forth. Do you think esports was Naseeb? Do you ever think about that? Esports was Naseeb. Do you ever think that? Because it was never planned.
Yeah.
But it was the best thing for you.
Look, till this day, I like keep asking myself regarding that. When I decided that, okay, let me focus on esport only. Definitely, there are some regrets, but when I put the regrets and the positive points, positive goes way beyond the regrets. It's kind of part of the sport, part of my culture, part of the football industry, part of everything that I've been working for.
Yeah.
But still, it's not my goal when I was younger, But esport gave me things that I would never consider in my life. SubhanAllah, So, wallah al-azim, still until this day, I keep asking myself those questions. And I remember I have one of the friends that I really trust, and I actually have a call with him in 2-3 hours.
Bring him on the show next time.
Inshallah.
We'll do a 4-way show.
Inshallah. Yeah, and I asked him, like, what do you think? Like, because you have some people that you trust and you want to get an advice from them. But yeah, like for me, I understand that the decision was right, and maybe it is Naseeb, and if it was not Naseeb, those things might not be happening. But yeah, no, esport gave me a lot of things, and I'm still working in the industry, and still I'm seeing things happening because of for me because of esports. And I'm glad. I say dua every time, alhamdulillah, for something like that.
Alhamdulillah.
And inshallah we can, go esports in Qatar, and inshallah to make it part of the, Qatar being a sports hub of the world. Inshallah, esports would be, inshallah, part of it very soon.
Inshallah.
Speaking of that, right? Where sometimes in life we don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
It happens, right? What would you tell someone who's maybe battling with what they want to do in their life? Maybe they have too many options. Sometimes people don't have a lot of options. How would they shift their paradigm where they're like, you know what? Now I know what I want to do. Because sometimes people don't. How do they make that decision?
Well, I can elaborate on something like that in terms of like passion.
Yeah.
So whatever you find passion to, that's the thing that you need to do, right? As example, in terms of jobs and everything, you don't want to wake up, for a job that you don't like.
No.
People keep complaining about their bosses and stuff, but
A lot of people do it.
people who love their job, they won't mind waking up and staying like late night and in the office or something.
That's true.
So finding the passion, and definitely like if there is like a passion or if there is a talent on such a person, he can also get an advice. We always appreciate advices, nasiha.
Yes.
From people who are more experienced in life than us, more experienced in a specific industry than us. And I think that's the keys of finding what you really love, passion, and then advising on that passion. And I think there it's going.
Because he's right. A lot of people, they go to work and they don't like it.
Yeah.
They work for their kids, they work for their wives, they work for their
90%
family.
people, man.
Yeah, a lot of
People are tied down to so many things.
Yeah.
Where the work that they have, they probably had passion in the beginning, but then something changes along the road, along the way.
Yeah.
Let's go positive now.
Yeah.
Okay. You're chilling. You get a phone call. Red Bull is knocking in. Okay, Red Bull is like, Ahmed, we want you. Run us through that moment.
Yeah.
How was it where you're just a normal guy making money here and there through prize money here, and then Red Bull is like, you're our guy.
We
want to give you and sponsor this drink that has nothing to do with what you do, but you're the guy that we want. How was that experience, that phone call, that email, however they found you? And how do they scout you, first of all?
Okay, so I think it was, after the first World Cup that I qualified for, they couldn't, they wanted to reach out to me, but I was like young. I think I only had Instagram back then, maybe WhatsApp, those type of apps. But like direct contact with me, you will not know. If you don't know any person or close friend of me, you will not know how to reach me. So I think they reached out to someone who reached out to my cousin, and then my cousin called me that, by the way.
Do you think, by the way, at this point, do you think it was a joke?
No?
You when your cousin called you, do you think it was like a prank or
No, but I will tell you now, you will laugh, wallah, you will laugh on how the first meeting went.
Okay.
And, when he called me, I said, okay, interesting. Like, Red Bull, the drink, you mean, right? He said to me, yeah, the energy drink and everything.
Right.
So we went to the first meeting. And I remember one of the, guys, his name is Muhammad Gouda. aka Gouda. He's now, mashallah, he works in Red Bull HQ in Austria.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Mashallah.
he met me that day, I remember. And we were discussing about esports and everything. How was the World Cup, blah blah blah. They had this direction of having esports athletes around the region, and Red Bull sees things before, man. Allah, I don't know how, but they either get news or they see that this industry is going to go.
Absolutely right, wallah.
And I remember him asked me, by the way, do you drink Red Bull? And guess what?
He said no.
I said,
He said no.
Keep it real.
You're honest.
I was, man, look, I didn't go there to lie, and I said, it was true. Before that, I didn't drink Red Bull at all.
Yeah.
And
Before
maybe
that.
like my circle, Yeah, before that.
The money came in.
No, well, I swear, like I told them, like, you know, and they were like, even you see that, I remember the facial expression, like, what, man, you know, but yeah, and you know, things took time, and then I signed, and you know, I think Red Bull is not just a sponsor, you know, it's a brand that you know provide you with different values that can help you as a person, like even in the media, the way I talk, the way I present myself, you know, now with the digital media aspect, how you show, you know, the way you train, the way, as example, I used to game also back and forth with the clubs, the way I was, you know, incorporating myself being a Red Bull athlete. That was one part, and definitely like they help you to achieve your best at your discipline. So you know, they're in Austria, they have the Red Bull HQ, and they have like the Red Bull Athlete Center. Man, it's crazy what you can see there. So as example, in eSport we train a lot, like reaction trainings. You know, where there's like a specific machine in the wall with different lights pops up suddenly. Many different type of trainings that they have that they can test you and see your result and know where you are lacking, where you need to improve. So they help you. Yeah, they help you with many different aspects. Being an athlete,
That's crazy.
Developing your media, I would say, image, and definitely with Red Bull, everything is like unique. They don't do things normally, man. If you see the events, if you see their ads, as example.
Yes.
So
That's a fact.
luckily with Mr. Gouda, I would say, I have started my own gaming, you know, event with them. It was, it is called Ahmed Al Meghessib back-to-back.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, and the concept of back-to-back is the team who score back-to-back goals win the game. So it's not a normal FIFA game, you know. It's just there is always a twist on the event, and alhamdulillah, with this event, I think we are on the 6th or 5th edition.
Oh wow!
And every year we are going. Every year we have more participation number, and you know, I would say the e-football community in the country know that okay, this period we are waiting for Ahmed's back-to-back tournament. And you know, when you keep something like that consistent, it goes definitely. It goes in value, goes in number of participation, and then you know, definitely more sponsors jumps in, more interest. So I built something very unique with them. And in terms of like esport athletes in the globe, nobody have built something like that in terms of like community-based event with the goal that this event had. And put in mind, and this was still when the country still didn't had a direct esport ecosystem. It was just small initiative provided by Qatar Olympic Committee or any third-party entity. And yeah, now with the event, it's approved by Qatar Esport Federation. We have done it in many different locations. We have done it here in Aameghessb, City Center, where Pearl, Virtual City, an arena in Doha Festival City. We have been around the country, and you know, my aim is to provide an event that people can come enjoy, experience a lovely, you know, tournament, lovely environment, and definitely have some wings, baby.
Absolutely.
It's a great name, eh?
Absolutely.
Because it happens every year back to back, eh?
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Drake did back-to-back. He went through the numbers as well.
Is Drake Ahmed? That's the question. Back to back.
I don't know. He's pulling the numbers. He's definitely pulling
No,
the numbers.
we should have like some Red Bull coolers around here, man. What's you saying?
I asked that next
Inshallah, we will talk.
next season.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
Back-to-back episodes,
Right.
inshallah,
Inshallah.
with Red Bull
You
sponsorship.
lucky I don't have a play. I'm about to play you here.
Okay, you take it to a different
He
level
was
now.
gonna unplug you, by the way.
Yeah,
He's gonna unplug. He's gonna
I think
unplug you.
that plug is down there.
I was gonna raise quit about
You might take
playing.
your batteries. You have no idea. Or give you an Xbox controller.
Two things I want to say about what you just said. I'm not saying this because you're here per se, but my background is marketing. That's what I do here in
Okay.
this country. Red Bull, you probably heard me say this before. Red Bull is my favorite brand.
Every day.
Wow.
Favorite brand.
Interesting.
Now, I've never really drank a Red Bull before, maybe once or twice.
Oh man, you did not say that.
Yeah,
My sponsor.
but no, keep it real. Keep it real.
Okay, no,
But this is going to tell you how much I like
look,
it.
man, he's not making
He's not getting paid yet.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid.
Let him do the marketing.
Yeah.
Not the sponsorship.
Once the paycheck comes,
I'm like this.
those big ones that you just gulp.
No, yeah, say it.
But that's going to tell you how much I really like the brand.
Yeah.
Because the brand never features Red Bull just sitting here like this as a product. And this is it. It's always extreme sports. There's always something different than the actual product itself.
Yeah.
But it makes you feel like, man, I want wings. I want to be able to do something like that. And it just makes you feel like you need to move and do something.
Yeah.
It makes emotion out of you. It emotes something from you.
Yeah, you start to love the brand, not the product. And then you definitely buy the product and become a customer. You know?
Exactly. So that's why I think it's the genius of what Red Bull does. So yeah, that's why I have to keep it real and say that.
Yeah, no. You know, put in mind that I graduated being digital marketer. So knowing that through Red Bull and the way they market the brand is crazy. I think they are the best in the world in terms of like those type of initiatives. You see the event that they do, how they market that, and then it converted to myself or a person to get the product and try the product and affiliate the product towards something in your life. As example, like now, before I come to the podcast, I was like super tired, man. I said, okay, to do good in the podcast, I need to hit some Red Bull, you know?
We appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man.
But like I drank my Red Bull, I came here, I'm energized, I'm happy, you know, to talk to you.
Alhamdulillah, that's all you can ask for.
I might have to do an internship for the summer.
Why not?
Listen, we'll do it on the house just to see.
Yeah,
but you know,
go there for free.
You know what's crazy about Red Bull? To add on to his point, Red Bull sells you an experience. That's what it is. It's an experience. So the people that they who are ambassadors, who are athletes, whatever they are, you guys aren't relating to the product because you are the product. And then when I look at you and I'll be, oh, Ahmed's so cool, Ahmed's this, all these kids who are gamers, they relate to you. And then through you are now gonna bring in whatever product is in the back end.
Yeah, I understand. And it's crazy because like now when you affiliate Ahmed as example in anything, so people who will be watching this video from the start of the video, they will know that okay, Ahmed, the Red Bull athlete, you know. So through the event or through my achievement or through whatever I have done in my career, Red Bull was always next to me, you know? Somewhere, maybe in the cab, maybe I can, maybe, you know. So it's kind of merged together, and
you are Red Bull basically.
Like, man, crazy statements. Yeah,
you are.
No, but like they you know, they built something that makes the people attach the ambassador or the athletes towards the brand. And you know, I'm very, you know, happy and about to be in such a journey with them, and hoping that, you know, continue with the positive achievement and the greatness, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
A follow-up question as well. Usually athletes at some point, they are athletes, that's what they do, that's all they know. And then eventually they transform into maybe in business, learning more about business, setting up your own ventures and things like that. Talk to us about your journey from an athlete and really getting into the business world and understanding how the business works and how everything else kind of fits together.
Question.
Crazy question, you know, honestly, because there's too much to elaborate, and
which way do I start?
Yeah, like I want to, you know, prepare everything to be simple and easy. So you know, definitely within the progression of being an athlete, you think about what's next for you after you are. You know, when you are close maybe to the end of your career or something.
Right.
So you need to understand like where to tackle, what is your passion, and if it was like a daily job or it was just opening a business and, you know, run it through the, you know, run it normally. So I started, you know, then the first thing was that when I had the chance to be part of the Qatar ESports Federation at head of ESports. So that would be kind of, it's not a business, but I will also consider it that it's a part of my career as an athlete. So I had the chance to be in such a position and help esports in the country. And in the other side, I definitely started thinking about different type of businesses. And I started one of the first companies that I have, and it's a clothing brand called UQ.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah,
that's
so,
you?
Yeah, that's
mashallah.
me and a few other friends. I had this passion, when I traveled the world because of football and esports, to see, the streetwear culture, the electric streetwear culture around the world. And I said, why not having a Qatari brand and find, the right people who really love and have a passion towards such an industry. And I'm also part of a football academy. So if you see whatever I do is either football, esports, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it will always be lovely to build a business in something that you love. It was football or esports. Before I had the chance to open an esport kind of gaming lounge, but when Qatar was not in the moment of esport, I decided to not tackle such a direction. But I think maybe in the future, if I had the chance, I might have an esports organization or something to see how it goes and stuff, and incorporate all what I have learned throughout the career towards that organization. But yeah, that's kind of the direction that I'm following right now.
Nice, mashallah.
In the athletic world, there's a lifespan of how long you can be a player. Basketball is 10 years max?
Yeah, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Basketball is 10 years. Not many people are like LeBron James or like Steph Curry. Football is around the same age, around the same time as well. American football is even less. 5 years, 4 years, depending on what you play. As an esport player, I'm not just because this is kind of unknown ground.
Yeah.
Because the industry is growing a lot and it's growing fast. And it's even growing faster in this region.
Yeah.
You see what our neighbors next door are doing and how they're establishing these esport tournaments left and right.
Yeah.
You coming from a place where you are basically a pioneer, you're the first founders, and you would play in these micro communities, and now you're part of this big community, and now this big industry. What do you see? How long do you think the average esports player can last? Because now you're dabbling into business as well.
Yeah.
So are you fully 1 foot out, 1 foot in, or what is your projection?
Yeah, so I would say for esports athletes in general, I've seen two kind of examples. Players start in 16, as example, elaborating to the Worldcraft point that you have mentioned. There was a kid named Puga in Fortnite. He won the Fortnite World Cup. It was somewhere in Las Vegas, I guess, in the States. And he got $3 million as example, prize pool. So that was, I think, 16. Remember he had an issue because his parents need to sign and, the money and everything. Long story. So I've seen players start 16 and end their career at 22. Have seen players started 18 and end their career at 30.
Yes.
And I have seen, different kind of situation. I think it depends on the player's situation. So let's talk about my situation.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I started professionally when I was 18 or 19, and now I'm 26.
MashaAllah.
And I'm seeing that if I was maybe in a different country, I will just be focusing on esport and me being an athlete. But I think in Qatar, I had to play a role of building such an industry. Because at the end, let's say when I go be 40 or whatever, I will always be happy to remember that I am part of building something huge in the country. I'm part of something that I've built and now it's huge in the country. So, as example, being an esport or FC player, or FIFA, let's call it FIFA for now, it was always a dream for me to play and to represent a Qatari team in the domestic league and win this league and qualify to the playoffs. Now they give you a spot to the playoffs. So last year, alhamdulillah, in Qatar, we had the chance to incorporate the first official esport league in the country. So it was FC 24. So it was licensed by EA, the mother company, and
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Yeah, so yeah.
Heavy sponsor.
Yeah. So they give you the license, and I had the chance with the Qatar Stars League, the entity which managed the official football league, to incorporate the eSport League.
Yeah.
It was EQSL, and so the process was very hard for me because I was the person who ran about the operation of the league just to make it happen, and then I found the person who just gave me the light and told me, I'm going to support you. And it was Mr. Hani Bellan, the CEO of Qatar Stars League, and Mr. Hassan Rabi Al-Kawari, the executive director of marketing, communication and sales. They gave me the opportunity to have this league, talk to EA, run it to the club, allow the club to understand what is this, what's the goal of this. As example, Visit Qatar was part of the sponsors because the winner will qualify to the playoffs in Germany. So it was tough that I was the face of the event in terms of running all the operation of the event, finalizing the deals with EA, QS and everything, and also be a player. It doesn't make any sense. You either play or
you operate.
You operate on that specific league. So I was proud, honestly, that it started, something like that started, and I was also proud even more because a teammate of my national team won the league. Rashid from Ahmed from Al Waka club. He qualified to the playoffs. He was almost that chance to qualify to the World Cup, but inshallah he makes it again this year. And now again this year we will have this league. So elaborating to this question, there are some steps that tells you, okay, I can still be a top player, but you also can be a top player competing in your own things. So as example, I have the qualifiers of EWC, I'll participate in it. There are qualifiers with EA and with the dribble and the sponsors that I have. When there is any event regionally, I can travel and play. So I still keep my level up top, but also helping the ecosystem going and its own speed. So I would say that I'm still having 2 foots, but I have an eyesight on what's next for the country in terms of esports. And put in mind that's one title. My goal is it's not one title. I want to do this with many different titles in the country.
Inshallah.
Definitely with the help of Qatar Olympic Committee, Qatar Esports Federation. We are doing huge work just to announce something huge, inshallah, for the next years regarding esports in the country. So by then I will have more time, to the roots are there, the fundamentals are there, the ecosystem is ready, people are aware of what is happening in the country in case of esports, and then I can decide by then, okay, do I keep pushing as a player or step aside and manage the whole process. So but for now I'm still competing, and hopefully that you see me this year at the EWC, inshallah.
Listen, speaking of EWC, make sure you invite Qatar Day so we can catch those footage, all right?
Inshallah.
The team in the back, we're gonna be there.
Inshallah.
All right?
You have to talk to football players.
Inshallah. No, we're gonna be there, inshallah. We have to catch history in the making.
Inshallah.
More history, inshallah. Inshallah.
Well, we're almost at the conclusion point. We've been having a blast.
This is a great show, man.
I've learned a lot about this industry, and I just want to know what the next steps are. What do you see the vision of esports being in this country, and what's the next steps, I guess, for the federation?
Okay, so I would say that definitely esports in the country is going. I would say by that there are a lot of different esports organizations in Doha, companies that just operate an esports event and stuff. I think back then we had one company, and now I think I have counted 9 to 10 companies just dedicated to esports initiative. There are companies who develop events, there are different companies who have platforms, apps, website. So you see that when many companies open, that means that there's something going within the country. And regarding events wise, our role at the Qatari Sports Federation is to showcase the events or the potential events that's coming, and we are planning inshallah for huge years inshallah. We just had an internal transition, and everything is inshallah going to be positive and promising for the esports scene.
Inshallah.
And there's something, but I don't think that I can say it. So something huge is upcoming inshallah 2026
inshallah.
In terms of esport.
Inshallah.
And for now, I think for the rest of the year, we have done, so starting 2025, we have done many initiatives regarding schools, universities, with the School Olympic program, which is under the Qatar Olympic Committee umbrella. Also, the league will be happening again this month, inshallah, from the 27th to the 30th of April, the second edition of Qatar Stars League. We'll definitely invite you guys there,
we'll be there
to attend, and
we're gonna do interviews with each
inshallah.
player.
And inshallah. And also we have an interesting esport forum that probably you guys, I think you would like it if you wanted to join the forum. So the forum is just about esport, panel discussions, speeches, people flying from abroad just to the forum to learn about esports in the region, globally also, but more focused in Qatar. And I think, look, to be honest, the next 2 years, Qatar, inshallah, will show something huge in esports in the region.
Inshallah.
And definitely, it's not as easy as it looks, because we have our neighbors who are spending huge money on esports, and definitely here we are tracking, or we are visualizing a unique direction within esports, So definitely we will not compare ourselves, but we will just support whatever the region have, and hopefully that the esports community in Qatar like it and express through esports within the initiatives that are coming inshallah soon.
That's why I love Qatar, because they always have their own lane.
Yeah,
they're not comparing it to nobody, and just doing what we're doing.
Always.
I love it. And one bonus question.
Sure.
Hit him.
Other than FIFA, what's your favorite game to play?
Oh man, Verdansk.
I have to ask.
I don't know if you guys play Call of Duty.
Of course.
But Verdansk, the map just released 1st of April. It's the OG map. People went crazy on it. The like of clans in the US, FaZe Clan, Swag, and those people. So I play Call of Duty a lot. I have my friends who are crazy at it. So when I have a free time, I join the lobby with them, and we try to
go crazy.
Call of Duty
Are you a
fun.
quick scope guy or are you a slide guy?
Say it again.
Are you a slide guy or you're a quick scope guy?
No man, I'm I'm the guy who just collect the loot.
Oh, that guy.
And try to have 5 to 10 kills per game.
You're that guy.
I'm always that trader. When someone says, "Hey, one shot," I'm there taking my one shot.
He's the guy who's a ghost.
Yeah, that's what he is.
He comes behind you and he knifes you. He's a knifer for sure. He throws a knife at you.
Call of Duty is fun, and I play Warzone a lot, and it's sometimes give you a different type of energy, because I keep playing professionally, FIFA focus, with professionals. But when I jump in code, I say, it's fine.
That's
now,
his downtime.
It's about time.
He's like, Red Bull's not here. I can chill. He's alhamdulillah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, guys, it was a pleasure again, attending here, and shout out to Qatar Day and Sherif, for being part of this and inviting me, and shout out to you guys. It was a lovely conversation, and hopefully we can see more sports enthusiasts in the podcast.
Esports, Aspire. You're all welcome, guys.
Come through. We're gonna play on the thing.
Inshallah. Okay, we will put the results.
I'm gonna give them some work.
We'll put the results.
2-1. I'm gonna win. Watch. 2-1.
Hey, it's on camera, by the way. So you called it 2-1. You called it.
I'm gonna get mopped. He's gonna beat me, but I got confidence. We're gonna do 2-1. Inshallah. Listen, we really had a great time. We're gonna talk a little bit off the camera as well. But thank you for coming through, checking out our 3rd episode of the Expat Bros. Too many cameras, I don't know which one to look at.
Main one, brother.
Man. But we out. Ma salama, as we say in Qatar. Peace and salute. See you next time, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.